The steak knife clattered to the floor, but no one moved. I said get up. We don't serve ex-cons at Harborview, barked Carl, the white waiter in a pressed apron, pointing at the lone black man at table 3. Darryl James didn't flinch. He sat still, eyes low, hands folded. Around them, the upscale Charleston steakhouse buzzed with forced ignorance, clinking glasses, a jazz track, hushed conversation, but now, silence swelled. Carl leaned closer. Just got out of prison and already acting like you belong here? Then, slap. Carl's hand struck Darryl's cheek, sharp and sudden. A gasp broke out. Someone dropped a wine glass. From the corner booth, an old man in tweed slowly turned his head. But what Darryl did next would change everything. Darryl's cheek burned, but he didn't move. His eyes scanned the room, not with anger, but with eerie precision. Like he'd measured every face, every exit, every camera angle. His breathing stayed even. Carl sneered. Still got that inmate discipline, huh? Darryl finally stood. He wasn't tall. But somehow, when he rose, the ceiling seemed lower. He reached slowly into his coat. Carl jerked back. What are you, pulling a knife? A dark rectangle appeared. Not a weapon. A folded letter. He placed it on the table. It was stamped confidential, Defense Logistics Command. I was invited, Darryl said, quietly. Everyone froze. Frank, the manager, rushed over. Carl, what's going on here? But the man in tweed at the corner, Mr. Graham, was already dialing. Frank skimmed the letter with shaking hands. To Mr. Darryl James. Guest of honor for Harborview's Veterans Reintegration Gala. He looked up, stunned. This is real. Darryl didn't answer. He just pulled back his sleeve. Around his wrist was a plain, worn bracelet. Prison-style rubber. Faded ink read, Unit 14, Civilian Defense Encryption Ops. Carl stepped back. No, that can't be. The room shifted. Patrons whispered. Phones clicked. At the corner, Mr. Graham stood and walked over. You're the same James who decrypted Sierra Base during the 2007 breach. Darryl nodded. I served under you, Mr. Graham whispered. Sir. The word landed like a bomb. Carl's knees buckled. But no one helped him. Frank turned to Carl. You hit a decorated war contractor. In front of guests. During a government-backed event. Carl stammered, I didn't know. He looked like a... Like what? Darryl's voice cut in. No anger. Just steel. A black man who doesn't belong. A felon who's supposed to disappear. Frank's jaw clenched. He looked at the crowd, then bowed his head. Mr. James, your presence here, we're deeply sorry. Darryl glanced at the empty water glass, still sitting on the table like an unspoken insult. He picked it up, looked through it, and set it back down. Then he turned to Carl. I don't need your apology. He turned to leave. But what he left behind was louder than anything he said. Darryl reached into his coat one last time. He pulled out a small velvet pouch. Opened it. Took out a stainless steel coin. One side bore the symbol of a clenched fist wrapped in barbed wire. The other, a quote etched deep. Re-entry is not forgiveness. It's a second chance you earn in silence. He placed it beside the letter. Then walked out. No spotlight. No music. Just the sound of heavy silence and shifting guilt. At the door, Mr. Graham saluted. Not for protocol. For memory. Inside, Carl stared at the coin. It wasn't an award. It was a reminder. Of the day he tried to erase a man. Who rebuilt himself stronger than ever. Darryl James reminded us, redemption isn't granted, it's earned. But no one, no matter their past, deserves to be slapped back into silence. Have you ever been judged for who you used to be, not who you are now? Tell us in the comments. And if this story moved you, like, subscribe, and share this racist story so more people understand that dignity doesn't expire after prison.